Invasion official trailer. Summary. My sound's all fucked up because BattleBit for some reason fucks with my sound card. No idea why. No idea why. Now it's fixed. Just that. Let's see what this is about, guys. Did I unsub the lockpicking lawyer? No, we just stopped watching him, so he stopped getting recommended to me. Very, very, very similar stuff in all of his videos, so. Oh my god! New hero. Which is another support.
You have lived in fear. That ends now. This is not war. This is liberation.
We're being overrun. Null sector is everywhere.
Ah. Wish you needed to be rescued, guys. See, now like this would have been better if this was CG, right? Instead we got some sort of really slow burning fucking 6-minute flick of Sojourn. Yeah. Like they literally could have animated the beginning of the Null Sector invasion, guys, and done that. And instead they gave us a slow 6 minutes of Sojourn having a Batman moment. And you're like, what the fuck, guys? Like, huge waste to their animation budget. Whoever thought that was a good idea. Like, sure, it'd be great if they had a series, you know, and that wasn't, like, they didn't waste CG on it. Like, if they did it with, I don't know, it was animated instead. Like, you know, like the shitty animation they use for their short series, their shorts. Sure. They've spent their animation budget, their 6 minutes... They spent their 6 minutes of a CG on Sojourn, they're sitting there talking to basically the police department header, whoever the fuck that was. Yeah, like 6 minutes. Like fucking cinematics for Blizzard are supposed to be these highly impactful events that really just make you kind of want to play the game, right? Like this, like what we're watching right now. This is done with in-game, you know, with in-game modeling and players in the game to draw attention to it, right? They basically just made a trailer out of stuff that happens in the game, and they just scripted it. But then they made an actual CG video, which was a Sojourn video, the Sojourn short, and it was just her having coffee with an inspector while talking about basically how she's a vigilante but not a vigilante at the same time. Huge fucking waste of money. I don't know, like it sounds good and everything if you have an unlimited budget. You have unlimited time and an unlimited budget, and you're making a mini-series, and that's like part of like a Netflix series or something, sure, why not, right? You know, you have like a shitty animation studio make Arcane for you, right? Sure, why not? That would be great for 6 minutes out of a 20-minute episode. It's not 6 minutes out of a 20-minute episode out of an 8-episode series. It is 6 minutes every 3 years. 2 years, 3 years, like, their cinematics, I think, are once every 2 years. That was 6 minutes they wasted out of 2 years, and they spent it on people having coffee. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? I know that we're supposed to get, like this trailer... The Null Sector invasion, people getting ready to help out, this is what you want people to get hyped for because this is your in-game content. This is stuff that is going to happen in the game, and you want to draw attention to it, right? This is stuff that you want people to actually engage in. And instead of doing that, they're like, hey, let's have coffee and a croissant and a cute little dog. You know, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a chick that thought that up or something, just throwing that out. Like, it would be cute, right? They could have done it a little, like Sojourn's in a little cottage somewhere off to the side in a nice little hilly area with trees on the side, you know, kind of hidden, a boat, and she's just living her best life over there while being Batman. And instead, like, they could have done this, and, you know, people actually would have got excited for it. Like I said, people always, they just clap their hands because it's Blizzard cinematic, and the consensus... The consensus hive mind on Twitter is telling everyone they're supposed to clap for Blizzard cinematics because Blizzard makes great cinematics. The production quality was great, don't get me wrong. The production quality was great. The direction and what they were doing in it, not great. Not great at all. and they wasted 6 minutes on it, and I left a negative comment on it despite all the positive praise about it. And people are going to forget about it. Like, the proof is in the pudding. Regardless of how many positive comments, which are probably just paid for shills anyways, regardless of how many positive comments the video gets, it's not Wrath of the Lich King. It is not Arthas rising the power. Like, it's not the Overwatch where they're fighting the big robot thing. You know, it's nothing memorable. They aren't going to give a shit about it. It wasn't the cinematic with Hanzo and Genji. It is not memorable. It's not something anyone's going to give a shit about in maybe a month from now, even a couple weeks from now. It's just one and done. It's not going to be one of the best cinematics ever because you chose a moment out of 2 years. You have a moment to pick for this 6-minute video in which the Blizzard animation studio, the CG studio, is going to take it over and they're going to make something great. And you chose to outline Sojourn having coffee while she's being basically raked over the coals for being Batman. Come on! What are you doing? Why would you do that? But someone thought it was a good idea to waste their, time of their fucking $1 million studio, their $1 million CG studio on coffee and a fucking cute dog. What? And they're trying to hype it up by like posting on their Twitter, like they're trying to post the dog to get engagement on it. Just don't give a shit. It doesn't matter if it's cute. It was cute. The Pachimaris are cute. It's a side thing. It's not like what makes the game. It's not what gets people to play the game. Just like the fucking PvE invasions was a terrible idea. You do this in addition to making the best content possible for your esports, highly competitive esports shooter. You don't do it instead. They did it instead. Like, League of Legends has a bunch of other games, a bunch of other IP, but they never neglected their core game. They never neglected the core game. Just like Fortnite with Epic never neglected Fortnite. After Battle Royale took off, they never neglected Fortnite. They always just went with it. So, like, I don't know where they're going. Like, there's just huge misallocation of resources. And they thought it was a good idea. Like, if we take a look at this, let's look at the Overwatch Twitter real quick, as long as X allows me to do so. But like they're just like posting shit for... No. This is because I'm looking at it and I'm not logged in, it gives me basically their top rated posts. This isn't their actual posting history. It's just their top rated posts. 2022, 2019, so I can't even see them. Anyways, they're trying to make the little dog trend, and the dog was cute. Whatever, someone spent time on it. Sojourn's living her best life in an apartment. 6 minutes every 2 years, guys. 6 minutes! They have a 6-minute video every 2 years, and they spent it on 2 people having coffee. Were you a WoW man? Yeah, I played World of Warcraft. I still play World of Warcraft. Every time a new expansion pack comes out, we play it, we go through, we level up, we don't 100% stuff, but we do pretty close to 100%. I did all the flying stuff in DF the last fall. We do Mythics, get geared up in Mythics a good amount, and that's basically when I quit. Maybe I do some PvP. That's when I quit. This year we spent a month on it, or this expansion I spent a month on it, and it varies. Usually it's 2 weeks, and so Dragonflight was generally just better in my opinion than most other expansion packs. I don't play it because I'm not a lifer, and generally people only want to watch lifers, so yeah. I did. Let's see.
I carry my burdens alone.
Oh my god, she has a gun that splits.
Captive sun is ready to burn. Face the sunrise.
Looks pretty cool.
Push forward. I'm taking the objective. Come on over.
When was the last time they added a guy to Overwatch? Here's a good one. When was the last time they added a guy? Overwatch Heroes by release date. I think Ramada's technically a guy, but not really, because he's a robot, so maybe he identifies as a guy. But he literally could be basically non-binary, whatever. You have pronouns? Yeah, he's a guy, but he's a robot, so... How do they define? I guess Echo's a female robot. I think Echo's non-binary. Hero release by date. Alari? Oh, Lifeweaver. I forgot about Lifeweaver. Lifeleaver? Yeah, Lifeweaver. I forgot about Lifeweaver. Okay, I'm wrong. There's also Lifeweaver. Does he count as a guy? There is Lifeweaver, though. I forgot about him. I'm wrong. Yeah, there's also Lifeweaver. But besides, like, Lifeweaver, Ramada doesn't really count because he's a robot.
New advancements discovered.
Spirit Master's just training mode. This doesn't matter. That's something you add in addition to your game. It's not the core of your game. Banana skin.
I will do anything it takes.
So they added everything except they basically just neglected the base game. They just spent a bunch of time on practice mode. Why? Like, I get it. I want a better training grounds. I really do. Training room. But that's in addition to the normal game, right? So none of this stuff really matters. Hero PvE is like Star Watch. I guarantee you it's like Star Watch earlier this year, which is you play it once and you're done. And that's it, and it's not really even going to be all that amazing. The cutscenes will be great, but once again, this is not a Telltale game, so even then the cutscenes probably aren't going to be that great. Because this is not a Telltale game. This is a highly competitive esports shooter we are playing, guys. It is not a Telltale game. It is not something you are going to go, oh my god, I want to spend money on Overwatch because like I'm going to play the PvE and that's it. No, they like wanted to make it like it sounded like Borderlands or some stupid shit like that, but definitely didn't have the budget or time to do that. And then they just ended up with this half-baked kind of scenarios that they're going to do, which is going to be pretty much no different than what's already in the game. They have no talent trees. They mentioned they're going to have talent trees, no talent trees. I don't think there's progression in any way, shape, or form, so it's just a one and done, and it's not going to be a Telltale game either. Telltale being, you know, the Telltale series where it tells a little story, but it's like basically like a moving action book, graphical book, picture book. Oh, they're pretty good, they're pretty good, but Overwatch is not Telltale. Yeah, this short was not very good. Their main channel has 290,000 views on it. That's great and everything. Yeah, there's just people clapping, but like I said, they don't understand. They don't understand. They had 2 years. Like, they get to probably request a new CG every 2 years. They have 2 years, and they spent it on someone living a hipster life in an apartment pretending to be Batman. Come on. Yeah, not really what you're looking for when you're trying to get people into your game. You know, they could have spent a little bit more on the action part and probably done better. There's a little bit of action in there. It totals like 30 seconds, and they didn't. So, you know. Anyways, Invasion, you know, everyone that went to the little conference where they got to swoon over their developers, they got to clap their hands and talk with their developers. Not really interested in the reactions, which everyone's memeing about, by the way, on Twitter right now, because they know it's coming. It's just everyone's just gonna be super hyped for the event they were like shit talking a month earlier. So new hero. This is important to Overwatch in general. Another support, which is basically what a lot of people don't actually play. Like, they don't really care, which is why supports generally took a backseat to DPS. Game needs more tanks, more so than support. Which next hero is a tank, but yeah. Another support character, guys. Yeah, whatever dominate the opposition means, good for them. Story missions, they've talked about for a while. This is apparently what they spent 4 years on. This is what they spent 4 years on after Overwatch 1 development stopped and they stopped releasing stuff. It's all on this. And they already let us down a couple months ago by telling us that it wasn't going to be what they spend all the time on in the first place. So, what did they spend their time on for the last 4 years? I love bringing this up. Because it really just feels like they worked on this for maybe a year, maybe year and a half. Like Star Watch was kind of meh. Yeah. And it's probably going to be meh. And it'll have some cutscenes, and, you know, that'll be great. And you'll play it once, and then you go back to the core gameplay, which you play the game for. You don't play the game for arcade mode. So, I guess these are the 3 story missions that are releasing with the game right here. My guess is these 3. 3 updates weekly. This is just to please the kids. Don't care. New Flashpoint maps. Flashpoint, randomized control points unlock new strategies. I mean, this could be interesting. We'll have to wait and see how this works. The game has definitely needed a new core game mode for a while. Push sucks. Push definitely sucks. And they got rid of 2CP for some reason. Probably to placate the kids. And 2CP wasn't actually that bad. People just hated... It became a meme. And people oftentimes meme. You have to separate actual legitimate criticism from memes. Because people on Twitter will always hop on memes. Because memes are safe upvotes. It's like having a political election and taking the safe route. People always go for memes because, oh my god, hey look guys, we're making fun of 2CP because someone tied a game, 1 in 100 games, someone tied a game, oh my god, it's so hilarious, ah ha 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 ha, there's 5,000 people watching when it happened, ah ha ha ha, you know, and putting aside the fact, would you rather spend more time running, which is push, or would you spend more time fighting, which was 2CP? I'd 100% rather fight people than spend the majority of my time running. And it might be, 2CP can be frustrating at times because you don't really progress, or the progression is very limited, but the amount of progress you make in 2CP is actually very, I don't want to say fulfilling, meaningful. So if you get 1/3 of that tick on one of the points that you can actually, you know, try and take, that actually might be the difference between you actually winning or not winning. Like, it might actually matter a lot. So any ground that you take actually matters a lot compared to a normal push map. And kids don't really understand that. Kids love laser rifles, so it's something where you just click a button and you shoot a pixel and then you win. People love laser rifles. We've talked about that before. It's actually kind of ruins video games, in my opinion. They like the idea of gratification, instant gratification all the time. That's become a meme at this point, but it's 100% true. They want something where it shows how much they win, and 2CP, like when you're winning, you don't really necessarily see it as well as you would with like a push payload, where you see the little yellow rectangle, right? They could have changed that. There's ways they could have dressed up the control points so you have a better idea of how close you are to winning. They didn't really. I think 2CP was fine. I don't think it, obviously push, I would still say push is better, but 2CP was worth playing. I would play 2CP. I still would. And it might need to be rebalanced a little bit because of the balancing in Overwatch has changed, but I'd still play 2CP. We'll see how Flashpoint turns out. As I mentioned before, they really don't need, well, they do need new game modes, but like what the game really needs is a better casual mode. It needs a better casual mode. It doesn't need necessarily just a new game mode. It needs to have ability for when you play the game and you're trying to chill out, that you can enjoy yourself. Right now, it's supposed to be quick play, and quick play doesn't necessarily convey that, because quick play is like half of comp, and it does it poorly because you're going to be matched up with a looser people, so the sides are going to be more and more one-sided, and then on top of it, you only get like half the battle, so you like half try hard, and it doesn't work out. I've mentioned before, they need to revamp quick play for a long time. Quick play itself needs to change. Anyways, new Junk City. I guess it's a new map, unless both these are new Flashpoint maps, which could be the case too. They're returning game modes, I guess. Yeah, so my guess is like these are just going to be like Star Watch was, which is meh. Hero Mastery, that's just training. Player progression. I mean, that would be pretty cool if you can actually, you have different ways of showing off your character. Right now, a lot of the cosmetics in the game you don't have time to use because there's no end screen. There's no like, hey, look at the team standing here showing off their emotes, taunting the enemy team or anything like that, showing off their skins, right? They have like the victory pose and that's it, and then it immediately goes away. For the most part, you can't show off your skins at the beginning of the game, like load screens or lobby or anything like that. And you have like the little start area, but for the most part, you don't have time to show off emotes or dances or anything like that, like Fortnite. And they tried to add like little like hearts and shit like that, and it doesn't. You can stand and pose, and you never ever get a chance to do that, except for maybe at spawn once. Battle Pass, Mythic Null Sector, so I guess some amount of replayability. I'm not gonna care. I think I'll probably buy the PvE and play it, just so we can play it. But otherwise, I don't think it's really going to be all that interesting. Like a shitty campaign for Overwatch 2 at the expense of the entire game for 4 years. See what are the kids talking about? It's probably just a bunch of people clapping their hands. Sojourn's gone. Anna skin. Like there's some really weird posts, guys, that get upvoted the fuck out. Like, just wanted to say the same. I really hope this isn't the case if whoever did the graphic didn't communicate with the skin team and it's really black. What? What does this even mean? How does he have 161 upvotes? Yeah, like, people, like, I don't really understand this. You know, obviously he could have paid for the votes. He could have paid for his points here. Or she could have paid for the points here, but, like, the comment doesn't make sense, so why would anyone upvote it? Yeah, and the comment doesn't make sense. I'd agree with that. And it got 161 upvotes. No Sojourn in the Battle Pass. Even weirder that they decided she's not. They did a cinematic on Sojourn and didn't even include her as part of the Battle Pass. Like, did they not get to pick the cinematic? Did Blizzard's CG team just decide to do it? like they made this kind of like Sojourn front and center because they did cinematic on her, and then they just didn't really do anything with her in the Battle Pass. Yeah. Player progression, it says you show off your playstyle. What do they mean by that? Apparently you're going to be able to upgrade your heroes to earn things like cosmetics, I think. So this guy doesn't even fucking know what he's talking about. And he just stated it as fact, and then he said afterwards that he doesn't know. Okay. Like, apparently is as in that's what you're saying, right? You know that that's going to be true. He meant maybe, possibly, you're going to be able to upgrade your heroes to earn things like cosmetics. Not apparently. And perpetuated this fact, and then at the end said, I think. Because he wasn't sure in the first place. But he said it like he was sure. What? Nice for all of us who can't actually unlock Sojourn because of a month-old bug that Blizzard doesn't know how to fix. Kind of curious what the bug is. 6 points. I heard of this. I don't know if they'll ever be able to bring back archive missions. Some people even managed to recreate all three in the workshop using AI Baptiste Genji as the PvE units. Got codes. I'm genuinely so bored of this game in its current state. Yeah, like I said, they need a better quick play mode to keep kids interested that don't want to play comp. They aren't doing that. This is not going to introduce new quick play game mode. People would chill. A deathmatch is pointless. Mystery Heroes is stupid. Yeah, because the game is not remotely balanced around just random clusterfucks of units. It's very, very balanced around TDS, tank, DPS, and support, and the ratios of them. Yeah, so. Not sure thought that was a good idea. Deathmatch is dumb because, once again, it's a highly teamed game. Omnic skins better have a voice changer. Omnic Roadhog Junkrat didn't, as much as I want them to have to. Yeah, no shit. And that wouldn't actually be that hard. They'd apply a filter over the voice, and like that's all they have to do, and then change it. They don't have to re-record voice lines. That would actually be very easy to do. There's a lot of missed opportunity. Everyone likes talking about potential that game companies have, guys. But there's some really easy shit here that you think would have existed and they didn't. Like adding a synth voice to the voiceover, adding a filter to make it sound like a robot. That's all they had to do, and they didn't. Skins are exclusive, give me free things. I lobbied to get rid of loot boxes. I didn't, mind you. A lot of the kids did, and they didn't really think about what would replace loot boxes when they did that. They're like, think of the kids, because they thought they're going to get everything for free if they got rid of loot boxes. Nope, that's not the way that works. And then you got the League of Legends microtransaction system with the Battle Pass. The game modes return week 2 Star Watch. Well, I guess not everything can be great. Yeah, archives. Archives, I believe, were the missions where you shoot the robots when they invade, which make a lot of sense. The null sector invasion would make a lot of fucking sense because they're having a null sector invasion in their PvE. Why did they not think that was a good idea? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Instead, they re-added the most recent events. People are happy that these events are coming back. No way. They're fucking shit, especially Star Watch. Star Watch could have been cool, but it felt so unbalanced. It wasn't good. Heard. A human Zen skin for Invasion was such a huge missed opportunity. I mean, a human skin for Zen would be good, but not for this, because this is literally about the Invasion. He's never human. They could have made that into a cinematic. That would have been pretty cool, where they transfer Zen's consciousness to a human body. And all they have to do is give him a human skin. That would have been much cooler than Sojourn having coffee with the police inspector. But, you know, whatever. Lara looks gorgeous. Yep, our team's pretty good. Just the people pulling the strings, telling people what to do, fucking suck. You support hero dominate the opposition. Boy, they sure understand the support power fantasy. Yep. And apparently that also means... kind of hate how supporters become pseudo damage with support toolkit. They're just better DPS. The good supports are just better DPS. Notice the practice range update isn't included in the roadmap. I thought they're talking about that with the was it the mastery mode? I assume would include that. I hope they fix the dog shit matchmaking. No, that's actually like an integral part of coding and like the back end, which you can't fix with just saying shit. Like you actually have to kind of know what you're doing, and they definitely don't. They can program, but they aren't doing a good job at balancing the game as far as matchmaking goes. FOMO events are tiring. I just want to play my own schedule. I mean, don't play or play. Don't play or play. Let's